Hello, everybody. Welcome to the HubSpot user group event today. We're going to talk about from SEO to AEO. This is our webinar series we've been running for a while now. And the topic today is turning video into an AI search magnet. So let's get this started. In the meantime, if you are connecting, let us know who you are. Introduce yourselves in the chat, where you're coming from, and your company position. Let's let us all know who you are so we can connect with each other. Of course, if you don't know who I am, I'm Gabriel Marguglio. I'm the CEO and owner of Nextiny Marketing. We are a HubSpot solution partner over 23, almost 24 years now. We specialize in everything HubSpot. We do 100% HubSpot websites. We do HubSpot implementations, optimizations. We also do video marketing. We have a video production team, and we specialize in SEO. We were a website and SEO agency 23 years ago, and today a lot of that is coming back. A lot of that is growing. We've been using it over the years for inbound marketing, for inbound and sales enablement, and now SEO and AEO are coming together, and we're going to talk about that today. So let us know if you need anything. That's my link for LinkedIn and for the website. But let's get this started. Before I get started with the whole presentation, this is a webinar series. We have been running these since the beginning of October for the From SEO to AEO series. There's the recordings. I just shared the link with you guys. And also I'm going to share the next events that we're going to have. We have one more in December, and we have two in, we have one more in December. We have two in January and two in February. I think it wasn't connecting. So if you can all be on mute, that would be amazing. Let me share the other 4 links for the next events. And of course, you can become part of our HubSpot user group members on all 3 HubSpot user groups we run. We run the video HubSpot user group. We run the content hub for marketers HubSpot user group, and we run the Sarasota local HubSpot user group here in Florida. So lots of great events. I shared all the links in there. Today's agenda, let's talk a little bit about what we're talking about today. So first of all, we're going to give a little recap. It's getting shorter and shorter because I'm doing this recap in every single one of these, since it's a webinar series, so everybody's up to speed with what's happening and why we're talking about from SEO to AEO. But then we'll dive right into why is video good for AI discovery. That's our first one. Then we're going to talk about how to use video as a source of AI content. And then we're going to talk about how to optimize video for AEO. There's 2 big things here. One is using video as the source of content creation, of your content strategy, of your content engine loop. That is one topic here today, is using all different kinds of videos so we can create text-based and combine text, video, social content, your content strategy from video. That's one of the things we're going to talk about. The other one is how to actually optimize the videos themselves so they become the sources for AI discovery. So we'll talk about both things today. And this is the recap, just so everybody's up to speed with the changes. This was our first event, and then all the events after that is how AI is redefining client acquisition. So first of all, search isn't just links anymore. It's answers on AI. It is still Google, AI, and ChatGPT, and others are changing the way people discover you, discover companies, discover solutions, have conversations about it. And the question is, how do we stay visible in an answer first world, not a click first world, but an answer first world. So there's some changes in the way that people are finding you. First of all, 60% of Google searches are now 0 clicks. This has been growing over the years. It's happening. Google first did it without AI, just showing a bunch of answers at the top. Then AI came in the Google search, and now we have all different LLMs, Perplexity, Claude, ChatGPT, of course. And more people are getting to no clicks. They're getting to the solution before they can click on your website. 70% also of B2B buyers are making the decision before even talking to sales. So that means not only Google, but now AI are helping people and companies make decisions without you, without your website, without your sales team. Now, there's a upside of this whole situation, which is we have seen that it's 3 times higher conversion in leads that come from AI. So AI is becoming your new homepage. Leads that come from AI are higher quality, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But also, don't forget that Google's still 210 plus times bigger than ChatGPT in search. So when someone is searching for intent, Google's still incredibly important. So we'll talk about that part too. And we have seen this in actual accounts. This is a real account with real numbers. You can see in the same amount of time, the organic search was traffic was 4,000. The new contacts in that amount in that time it was 42, and then the customers was 1 customer. This was like 2 months, and then AI referrals. You see 90 visits, 2 leads, which both of them became opportunities, by the way, and 1 turned into a client. So you see incredible conversion and closing rates. So the question is this going to replace your Google traffic? No. Is this going to replace your Google leads? No. But if we make this a priority, as much as we do make Google a priority and SEO a priority, if we make this a priority and we grow your AI visits and we grow your visibility, then these visits turn into higher converting leads and higher conversion clients. So very, very exciting stuff. This is the opportunity that we have now. Again, thanks, Steve, for connecting too. So again, people keep joking about this. We've been joking about it for years, since I think 1997 in this graphic. This graphic is how the SEO industry has been growing over the years, while we keep saying the SEO industry is dead, which is the funniest thing in the world. It's like, oh, Panda update and it's dead. Now ChatGPT exists. Oh, it's dead. And now Google does AI responses and it doesn't work at all. SEO is dead. Everything SEO is dead. SEO is dead. SEO is not dead, definitely. We'll talk more about that. Lazy SEO is dead. All the keyword stuffing and now creating bogus, regurgitated content from the internet using ChatGPT in 2 seconds. All of that is dead and will forever be dead. We'll talk about how foundational SEO is very important still, and it helps with AEO, which is what we're going to talk about today. Answer engine optimization, which is optimizing not just for pages, not just for Google. And I say no, not just, because it's for both, but also for AI answers. And I mean ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI, Claude, all the different models, but also now the browsers that come with the models. So Atlas and all these different new browsers, like Google Chrome is a browser that you use Google as a search engine. Now you have Atlas that uses ChatGPT as the engine. So there's a lot of changes in that end. And of course, that means some changes on how we do things between SEO and AEO. We'll talk more about that. But there's something that's still critical and important, and even more important nowadays, and we'll talk more about this too, which is the importance of being real. Why video matters for SEO and AEO is because authenticity wins. You have a world where everybody can create fake everything, your voice, your picture, your image, your photos, videos, everything could be created with AI. Therefore, being authentic, being real, like we are doing right now, is critical. Now, there's a human connection missing because everything could be fake. Not only algorithms and Google and AI models are craving authenticity because it's a trustworthy signal and a signal that you're real, that you exist, that you're doing your things, and that you're helping people and you're answering your ideal clients' questions, et cetera, et cetera. But the human connection, people are craving this reality, and this is only going to amplify. The more AI we have, the more people are going to crave authenticity and human connection. And this is critical. And video is one of those digital pieces that could actually help you with that. Then video is a multi-channel kind of content. And we'll talk about that on how to use it on social and how you use it on your blog and how to use it on emails. And then it helps you with SEO and AI visibility. There's a shift between keywords and now entities. Entities are more contextual. Instead of talking about the word Apple, that could mean a million things. We're talking about the company Apple or the fruit Apple. So an entity versus a keyword has context of a lot of things: a person, an organization, a service, a location, a product, a credential, an industry. All of these entities are very important because AI will connect the content of your answers to whatever questions your ideal clients are actually asking, to entities: the name of your company, your city, your services, your competitor's name, et cetera, et cetera. So this is important to keep in mind what entities are and how to use them. So from the different webinars we've been running, we have created some content, especially this AEO checklist that comes as part of this article that I'm going to share right here. Is the From SEO to AEO Answer Engine Optimization, How AI is Redefining Client Acquisition. That's one of the articles we created from this. The second article is the one related to video, webinars, and podcasts. So this is the second article we created from these events that can give you a whole beginning of all of these events and how we're approaching SEO to AEO and the changes in all of this. So if you want to get even more information, you can watch the recordings, but also you can go check these articles. Now we have an SEO and AEO audit that we're running as a special until the end of the year. So if you want to get a full audit of your SEO and AEO, this is an incredible price. And we are very excited to give this to all the people that come to our HubSpot user groups. So if you want to check it out, let me know. Now, the other thing that we did is we created an article about loop marketing versus inbound marketing, which is another part of the puzzle. If you want to check it out, it's another one of our webinars, and I just shared the article there too. So the question is, why is video good for AI discovery? That's the first question. So let's talk about the basics first. Video is very powerful for AEO because it is the highest trust content format. It sends the strongest human signals. You're real, your face, your voice. That's authenticity. The expertise, the clarity, that's authority. The emotion, the tone, that's trust. The visuals, the narrative, it makes it memorable. So AI models love this kind of stuff, and video checks all these boxes. It's very, very, very conducive for AI to take it as something important. So video versus whatever we were doing before. And yes, we were doing video before, but most of SEO and email marketing was based on blogging and yes, posting on social, but there was mostly text and keywords and metadata. Now we're talking about answers and entities and expertise and these signals, and video helps you win with both things. And the reason why AI loves video is because you have the transcripts, first of all. And this is part of one of the things that are important is creating those transcripts. You can create chapters with sections. You have spoken keywords and entities. You're answering questions, which is exactly what AI does. So if you're answering your ideal client's questions through a video, you're literally giving AI the answer to that question. So when AI needs to answer a question, they can quote you. They can use that as citation for that answer. And then, of course, it makes you the subject matter expert in the matter. So at the end of the day, everything you are talking about in videos makes you the authority, makes you real, makes AI understand that you know what you're talking about. You're doing it. You're answering your ideal client's questions, etc. And the hidden advantage is transcripts. If you create the clear topic transcripts and you have real questions and real answers, and you have entities mentioned in it. I'm mentioning HubSpot, I'm mentioning Wistia, I'm talking about ChatGPT, I'm talking about Google, I'm talking about SEO, I'm talking about AEO. All of those are entities that are going to be in this transcript. And all of that is going to be used for AI to understand what this video is about, what this article is going to be created from this video, et cetera, et cetera. You can timestamp the sections. You can create, the good thing about a videos is natural language, the tone and the personality comes through. And AI wants more conversational content because it's answering in a conversational way. It's always a conversation that you're having with AI. So a video is already in conversational content versus what we used to do with blogs, which was more of an article, and in a case study or something more complex and formal. That's why also we are changing the way we're writing blog articles, because we need them to be more conversational so AI can pick up everything easily from there. So definitely make sure that that transcript is readable. So a lot of embed codes out there do not include the transcript because AI cannot read JavaScript, the code. So you definitely need to put the video on YouTube also, because YouTube has the transcript of the whole video embedded to it. And I'll show you some examples. But the embed doesn't have the transcript. But Wistia, which is another one of our great partners, solved that and created an LLM friendly code that allows you to embed your videos directly on your website. But now the full transcript is actually embedded in the content of that code, which makes the whole thing readable for AI. So these are some of the solutions that are coming up because of all these changes, because it is important for video to be taken into consideration. So the reason why all of this is great is because it works with EEAT, which is signals that Google were already taking into consideration, is the expertise, the experience, the authoritativeness, and the trustworthiness. This is very, very important for Google to understand that they can trust you, that you are an authority, that you are doing this, you have the expertise and the experience. And that's what you've been doing with reviews and case studies and all these important, data points and stats and things like that in your content and your website. But video sends all those signals directly into Google and AI. And that's, again, why it's so great to be human in this AI era, because not only humans are craving it, but also AI is craving that connection, that EEAT signal. So invite your prospects to webinars and live sessions, share real customer stories and clips, be visible, your face, your clients, your employees, your team members. Make sure video becomes part of what you do on your content strategy, and it'll help your marketing, sales, and customer service teams. So the next question is how to use video as a source of AI content. This is what we were talking about, creating content from video that will be great for AEO, answer engine optimization, or AI engine optimization, how some people call it. So how do you use video to create AI optimized content? First of all, this webinar is a great example of that. You can take that webinar and create a blog post with the embedded video, and you can create some short social clips, video clips, and I'll show you how that is actually helping too. You can create an FAQ section, and you can create a podcast audio if that's part of what your audience would be interested in. You can create a YouTube video and have the whole transcript of it. You can create emails. You can create pillar pages or update your current pillar pages. There's a lot of things that you can do with video from the video format into text format. Now, where can you source these videos? Because it's like, oh, well, I'm not running webinars. What do I do? Right? Webinars are amazing, and they're one of the easiest ways to create this kind of content that generates all these different multi-channel, multimedia content that is great for AEO, but you don't necessarily need to be running webinars. You can run public webinars like this one, but also you can run private webinars. You can write a webinar for your clients and just do an update on your products, or update on the software, or update on, connecting clients to each other and asking questions and answering their questions. They're like an FAQ live. You can have your partners talk to each other, and again, that's a private webinar. You can do video series, which are more formal videos with more editing and more production, but those are very, very successful for these kind of content creation and content engines. Now that requires a lot more work. That's why webinars are a great example of this. And you can literally create a webinar series without having all the production, like this one, that actually generates content and creates that engine loop that keeps creating more and more content over time. Now you can also do internal meetings. You can do internal meetings with your team, with team trainings. You can do client meetings. You can do a lot of different things. We just turned a client meeting into an article that became a pillar article because this client was asking about how to move their website from WordPress to HubSpot Content Hub, and we have been doing that for more than 10 years now. And he had 100 questions, and he sent an article. He sent a document with all these questions, and we answered the questions, and then we went live through the questions. So we put all that information into ChatGPT and created a pillar page about WordPress versus HubSpot Content Hub with client questions, and included some of the different clips as part of the pillar, which is incredible. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a video series, a huge production, or even a webinar series. It could be internal videos, client videos, team trainings, anything that has value with Q&A and real people is going to be very, very valuable for this. Anybody has any questions? If you want to put them on the chat, go ahead. So the question is, how do you create the perfect prompt? Because we're talking about taking those videos and using AI to generate the content. So usually it requires iteration. And the more you use AI, the more you use the different models, you'll see what each model is good for you specifically, or your industry, or the type of content you're creating. But define the goal and the audience. So specify the tone, the length, the structure. What are going to be the questions that you want to answer for sure. Provide the brand voice as examples. Just give AI a couple of other articles that you want it to look and feel the same way. And then include whatever data you can find, and quotes and entities and reviews from clients, anything that would give more credibility to the piece, and it connects whatever you're doing to data points, to examples that will make the piece even more AI friendly. And then of course, ask AI, what am I missing, right? And it'll say, I looked at what kind of, do you want this to be more conversational, more, funny, more professional? So it'll ask you questions, and then just iterate. Keep saying, how good is this? And as you can see in that example, it says final verdict. You know what I mean? It's this article is good for humans and SEO, and for SEO score it's 9.1. I'm like, okay, how can I take this to 10? And it'll say, include these keywords, change this for that keyword, or use a different, make sure you mention this entity. Like the other day, ChatGPT said you didn't mention your name at all. And I'm like, oh, okay, I need to mention my name because the entity Gabriel Marguglio needs to be attached to this specific thing as the author of this article. So think of these things, iterate with AI, and find the best prompts. And this is a good example of a prompt that I put together from this. It's like how to create a blog article from a webinar. And you explain, I want human flow, I want SEO optimization, I want AI optimization, editorial polish. I don't want to edit this 20 minutes after it's done. And I want everything to be ready. And ask me all the questions you want. And what we've been seeing is that when you do this, then if you run, even though this is not as important as it used to be now, like they're saying 70% of the internet is now AI generated, the articles that are created from these type of prompts, because we're putting the full transcript of a webinar with the slides of the webinar, with extra data, with other articles, it is considered 24% or less AI generated, which means most of the stuff is me. Therefore, it's credible, it's trustworthy. This is the kind of signal that you want to send to AI and Google to make sure that they position your content as the answer. So the workflow that I just talked about, you could just transcribe the webinar, feed it to AI, generate the blog post, iterate, and then ask the questions. How can I optimize it for this, for that? Until you get it done. And when it's live, put it back on AI and say, what is it missing? And it'll say, oh, the schema is missing. You didn't put the schema for the FAQ. And you can literally copy paste the FAQ and say, generate the schema for this. And schema is the code that you need for AI to understand the entities and understand the connection with structured data, not just content and text. We'll talk more about schema later. So what's cool is you can also use video on social. And that creates even better signals. So you can see I had a post from Wistia that was sharing some content that we did together. And it was my face. I was talking about, webinars and consistency and things like that. And I shared that post, but when I shared it, I made that post a question and an answer, which is literally what AI wants. And now not only the video on YouTube has become the answer on AI, and these are two examples. It's Google AI and also Perplexity, I think. Not only the YouTube video has become the answer, as you can see in the marked in orange, but also the LinkedIn post has become the answer as a citation for that answer. So not only the video on YouTube with the transcript is coming up as the answer, but the LinkedIn post, which we didn't think that was possible before, it's actually happened. And it happened like in 2 days. I posted the post. That's also important because AI is taking, one of the signals is how fresh this content is. If something is like 3 years old, it's not going to be as good as if it is from yesterday because I'm talking about it. So Daniel, you say you're fire hosing us with a lot of info and ideas. That's great, but I need to get things done. And that includes delegation, etc. Do you have any workflows, diagrams, checklists? Yes, we're getting to that. That's the how to do the things at the end. So yeah, thank you, Daniel, for the questions. And yeah, there's a lot of fire hosing here. It's important. Also, we're testing a lot of these things as we speak. And definitely great segue. So I appreciate we did not plan this, okay, guys? So yeah, Daniel is just a separate entity here, okay? So good entity, good joke, right? So yeah, we'll talk about how to do this and what to do next. What's important is to understand that video can be the source for content creation. So use video as the source for the content you're going to create in AI. So your first to do is to create that content. And then also video can be quoted as the answer itself. So the question is, how do we optimize videos for AEO, right? So the first thing is, what does AI want to see in a video? That's the first thing we want to understand. So clear questions. The video should be a question. What is this? This versus that. How do I do this? Why is this happening? Right? That helps. Those clear questions should also be part of the sub sections of the video. I don't know if you noticed, but the 3 sections that we're talking about in this webinar are questions. And those are going to be the H2s in the blog that will generate from this webinar. So the H2 titles, which are the sections inside the article, should be the same thing on your video to make that same connection because you're answering your ideal client's questions. If you know they ask you answer, the methodology, which I recommend you double check. And if you haven't read the book, it's amazing. There's a new version now. Mark Sheridan, they ask you answer works beautifully for all of this, for AEO. And H2 questions, the same way we were doing it for they ask you answer, you want to do it for the video. Make sure that you mention the entities, right? What your industry, your softwares, your competitors, your whatever it is that connects what you're doing to the context of what you're doing. So when you're creating the videos, when you're planning for your webinars, when you're planning for your video series, do this first. Make sure that the structure of the video is going to be the structure of what you want AI to understand as these questions and answers and these sections that are talking about this specific question that is being answered right here. Create demonstrations and examples because AI wants real stuff. And me regurgitating what ChatGPT told me to put in this slide is not a real experience. what I did, my snapshots, and what I want to show you how it works is real experiences, and that is valued as a higher signal. Have a strong point of view. Don't be like, well, it depends. Like, whatever you know, and if you know it, talk about it. That is a trust signal too. Clear takeaways, chapter markers, a transcript with minimal filler. Don't have a lot of jargon and filler words and stuff like that. So how do you do it? First, write question-based video titles, like we were talking about. How do you optimize a video for AI search, which is the name of this section, by the way. Add keywords, align descriptions, right? Keywords and entities in your descriptions, in your transcript. Upload the video to YouTube, always. Even if you have the video in a platform like Wistia or like Vidyard or anything like that, also upload your video. This is a question I get all the time. Do I need to also upload my video on YouTube? Yes, why wouldn't you? It takes 2 seconds. YouTube creates the transcript automatically. You create another feed, another channel, another place where people can find you with all those beautiful entities and keywords. Upload your video to YouTube and make sure the transcript is correct. Add video object schema. Most of the time when you're embedding on your website, if you're using HubSpot video, the schema is going to be added. If you're using Wistia, the schema is going to be added. That's the code that tells AI and Google, this is a video, and this video has this name and this description and this transcript, et cetera, et cetera. Then embed Wistia videos with LLM-friendly embeds. This is a new thing. If you're using Wistia, and I mention Wistia a lot because we're Wistia partners, but also it's the best video platform out there for analytics, and it embeds it beautifully with, it integrates beautifully with HubSpot. It sends data to HubSpot on how people engage with the videos. It's great. But long story short, they created a better embed that now includes the whole full transcript of your video with the chapters and everything. So definitely try that. In-app chapters, name as real questions that we talked about. So examples of how this is working after you did this, you can see right here. I asked, are webinars good for AEO? And you can see the answer is us. And the answer is our YouTube channel with the YouTube video and the LinkedIn that I was talking about before. Another great example, Perplexity, showcasing the same question, showcasing the video as the answer used for the creation of the answer. Google is picking up the videos, not only in the AI version, but also the videos per se in the list as the answer. This is loop marketing versus inbound marketing. Another one where the video is being picked up, multiple videos being picked up. And then Google AI mode, also using LinkedIn and YouTube to answer the questions, not just the blogs, but YouTube and LinkedIn. And again, videos are being picked up even more than blog articles from what we've seen. So how do you do this? Again, create the videos, do all those things as part of your video planning and the video content that you create, then put it through AI to make sure that you create a blog article, you create social posts, you create your emails, everything around the video content. And then don't guess, just test it. Continue to test it. Ask the questions on Google AI mode. Ask the questions on ChatGPT. Ask the questions on Perplexity. I'm using those 3 as great examples. Again, Gemini, Perplexity, and ChatGPT as the models where you should definitely test these things and understand what's missing. And another way to understand what's missing is definitely running those entities through a grader. And HubSpot put together an amazing AEO grader. Let me share the link here for you guys. And this AEO grader allows you to test your entities. At the end of the day, when you're saying your services, it's asking you your service, your location, your name, your industry. Those are entities, right? It's not even asking for your website address. This is not a website grader. We love the website grader, but this is testing entities in AI. And it tests ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini also. And it tells you how those entities are doing on those models, what is working, what's not working, and what's missing. This is also coming into Content Hub now. If you have the latest version of Content Hub, not CMS Hub, but you have Content Hub Pro, you're going to have the AEO grader internally, and it's even better and bigger, and you can set up more entities and more ideal clients, your ICPs, and you can run that internally inside the SEO strategy, now called AEO strategy feature in HubSpot. This is very important because this allows you to understand what's missing. You can work on those concepts. You can create content around it. You can create video around it, and see how it changes and how it evolves over time. So there you go, Daniel. I think I already said all these things, but the checklist. Your title is a question. You have a clear thumbnail. It has to be human. Humans are important. In a world filled with fake AI stuff, humans are going to be the most important things. And our humanity is our differentiator. So have a clear human thumbnail. Chapters added, right? H2 questions should be your chapters, as close as possible. Sometimes the video could be too long and you might have, 20 chapters instead of 10, but make it as many questions as possible that are then answered there. Your transcript should be edited, and those entities should be there. Every time I edit these transcripts, ChatGPT comes as ChatGPT, like spelled ChatGPT, not GPT. So I have to change 20 times that on every single transcript. Make sure your entities are spelled correctly. The name of the companies, the name of the softwares, the name of whatever you're using, your services, your industry, your competitors, all of that needs to be very clear in the transcript, so AI can actually read it and understand it. Then make sure the video object is there. Test your schema. I'm gonna share right here the schema test website from Google. Is the rich text test right here. So run your pages, run your blogs through the schema test and see what shows up. It'll tell you have a video schema, you have an organization schema code, you have a local organization, you have a person schema. All of those things are important because, yes, the video might live in YouTube and you might have the video on the blog, but the blog itself needs to have the video object for that video, the person object for the author of the article, the object for an FAQ. If you have an FAQ section on your blog, add the schema to that blog to make sure that that code tells AI, this is a blog article about these entities. And by the way, this person, a person, that's structured data, is the author. And this organization is the company attached to this content and answering this specific question. And there's an FAQ section in here, which, by the way, each question is marked as a question and each answer is marked as an answer. All that structured data tells AI what's the question, what's the answer. AI doesn't even have to understand anything. It picks up the question and it knows exactly what the answer is. Structured data and schema is very, very important. And that's why I also recommend reviewing the Wistia LLM-friendly embed, which includes the whole transcript of a video. Use FAQs. FAQs are coming back, and we're doing a lot of that. Add FAQs to your main pages on your website. Add FAQs at the bottom of blog articles if it makes sense. Every time you have a video like this one, a webinar, or anything with your team, with your clients, there's going to be questions. There's an FAQ there. So turn those questions and answers into an FAQ section at the schema, and Google and AI will pick it up. And then YouTube is the alternative to all that hard work that we just talked about. It's just another way for AI to pick up all this content and make it the source of AI. So key takeaways here, and we're going to go through questions in a second. Video is the stronger AEO signal you can produce. AI reads transcripts and your expertise becomes indexable. Schema plus chapters plus transcripts, dramatically increase visibility. And then authenticity is more important than perfection. And this is important in two ways. One is AI can't fake you. Yes, you could create an avatar of me and the voice. Yes, you could, right? But AI cannot fake my personality, who I am, our relationship, our human connection. AI cannot fake that. Second, authenticity is better than perfection in a way that we all need to run these faster loops, and we need to get used to this faster world where we need to create more content and faster content and do it in multi-channels and post it on LinkedIn. And you create the webinar, you run the webinar, you got the transcript, you run it through ChatGPT, you created a blog article, you're promoting it, you launched it on your website, you're promoting it on LinkedIn. If you're going to do that and you're also going to expect perfection, you're going to run yourself crazy. Yes, AI can create a lot of optimizations and it can create a lot of efficiency in that process, and that's how we can run these faster loops. But make sure that trying to make all of this perfect doesn't stop you from actually doing it. And that's something that we had to have a conversation internally and say, hold on, Gabriel, I'm the CEO, I'm the founder of the company. English as a second language, as you may have imagined already. I used to not be able to post my own blog posts in my company because I always wanted, and my team wanted it, to be edited and have the content team review it and have more than one person read it. And it was hard to do all of that. And it took a lot of time to do all of that. And it got my team focus on things they didn't need to focus, which is our clients and creating value for them. So now I can actually run my own loops, even though those articles are not going to be perfect. They're already showing on AI. They're bringing visits, they're bringing leads, they're bringing clients. That is the only thing that matters. And because we have AI, we can actually check it and overcheck it. And that grading is what's saving me from posting things that we wouldn't be proud of posting. I read it and reread it, and other people read it, and it's fine because AI read it a million times, checked it and overchecked it, and gave me things to do and change. So Shannon asks, schema, do you recommend using a plugin or manual implementation? It depends. We do it manually because we want to control that. There are some plugins that are good. It depends on your website, platform, and stuff like that. But if you're using the right platform on your website, your blogs are already semi-structured with schema. Your FAQs and your knowledge base is already semi-structured with schema. When you add a video, already has the schema if it's HubSpot videos or Wistia. So there's a lot of that that's already happening. You don't have to add on top a plugin and a plugin and a plugin, because then you might be overstuffing. You don't want to have overstuffing of schema the same way we didn't want to have overstuffing of keywords. And I want to truly know that the schema of the FAQs is exactly the same Q&A from the actual article, which is important. Don't fake it, right? So Shannon, I would say manual if you can. Steve, you said, what are we looking for when we get rich text result? What are you talking about, Steve? Do you want to expand on that question? Anybody has any other questions? And this is, by the way, this is it. Thank you for being here. I'm going to keep answering your questions, Steve. Don't go anywhere. If you want to rate this session 1 to 10, let us know how we did it. If we sucked, please let us know. If we did amazing, go tell everybody on LinkedIn and invite them to the next sessions. I'm going to put an article here about schema from HubSpot that also can help. And I'm going to put the recordings from the last sessions and the next events so nobody misses those. And I will definitely answer those questions as they're coming. We have some January events and we have some February events. Don't go anywhere. I'm answering your questions right now. And I'm going to include my LinkedIn, my website before everybody goes, and our SEO, AEO audit in case you want to check it out again. So let's go through questions. So I see Steve. Did you, Steve, said anything? I cannot find if you said anything. You want to come off mute? We can do that too, Steve. But thank you for the 10s and the 10s. Any way you can do a demo on how we actually add schema to a HubSpot page, like an FAQ schema? Yeah, actually, we have. I think we have a blog coming out with that, David. But let me see if I can do this right now. So we have time. So if you guys want to see this, I can actually show you on our blogs how the schema is added. So I'm gonna take the screen here and stop sharing and share again. And let's share this page. So this is our blog. I'm gonna go to one of our blogs right here. And this is again in HubSpot. When you're editing the blog, you'll go to general at the top, settings, general. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. And at the end, you have this additional code snippet. This adds, at the head section of your content in your code, it actually adds the code. So that is the schema right there. It's saying FAQ page, it's saying question, why is video this? And so all the schema is right there. Now the question is, how do you create this code? You go to ChatGPT and you copy paste your FAQ section in ChatGPT and you say, create a schema for this, for my blog, and it'll literally create the code. You copy paste that code, check it, of course, make sure it's not something that has nothing to do with your FAQ, because AI hallucinates, believe it or not. Check it and then paste it. And then what you do is you use that schema test and you run that blog through the schema test to make sure that that schema is actually being recognized. So I hope that helped, David. Daniel, you said, I think Steve referring to the link you posted, search. Oh, yes. Oh, so you got it as rich text. So that means there's no structure. I believe. I'm going to double check that. But I believe that when it says rich text, it means you have just text. So if you don't have a video object, a person object, an FAQ object, all those important parts of the schema. And let me show you right here, the same way I showed you how that blog article, we added the schema. Let me show you how to test it in schema. That is actually a good test to run too. So I'm going to let me share my screen so you can see it. Great question. And thank you, David. Daniel, for helping with the question here. So let me share my screen and go. Let's say we are doing the same thing. I'm going to go to our blog and I'm going to go to that same blog we were talking about. I'm going to copy paste that URL and go to the rich text test and test it. It takes a couple seconds and it'll tell you what you have in there. And this is, hopefully, I think I optimized this. It should be optimized, but definitely it should say I have a video object, I have an FAQ object, I have a person object, an organization object. So you can see 6 valid objects: local business, organization, FAQ, and articles. So you can see here, it sees the article, which is web page. It's seen the blog article. This is coming directly from HubSpot because this is a blog. It's showing the blog article itself. It's showing the crawled FAQ. So this is the question, answer that I was talking about. So you can see how this is very structured for AI and Google. It's showing the local business as my organization. So this is important to understand, okay, this is an organization. And what's the name and all that stuff. That's an entity. And it's showing also the organization. Now, when you're on the articles, it also shows the video. Sometimes it's in here. And sometimes also the person as the author, you see the person is showing up right here inside the video. So this is connected to not only the organization, Nextiny Marketing, that is locally in Sarasota, but also the name Gabriel Marguglio. So that is what you should see, or something similar to that, what you should see. No, this works with everything, not just for blog URLs. Run this for your website pages, your homepage, all of that stuff. Now, on your homepage, you're not going to have, you may have a video object, you may have a organization, a local organization. One of the great things that you can do on your website is on your footer, at your company name, at your address, your phone number, your social links. Believe it or not, that is important, and more important than ever, because those are the entities, the location, the name of the company. Sometimes you go to a website and they don't have their address on the footer because they don't consider themselves local. But that's still important for AI to understand that you exist, you have an office, and all these things. So put that name, put that address, put that phone number in there. I see some other questions. Shannon, that is helpful. Thank you for showing. Yeah, of course. Daniel, have you had any experience with Descript? Oh yeah, love Descript. Actually, we run a video bootcamp for marketing, sales, and service as part of HubSpot Academy. I run it, and Descript is the technology that I talk about constantly. Descript is not only amazing for transcripts, but also you can edit video, all the editing. You can edit the text of the video, and it literally cuts off the parts of the video, and you can do AI editing. It's really, really, really cool. I'm not familiar with WriteBlogger, but if you have any experience there and you want to share it, go ahead and let us know. But that's, yeah, the HubSpot remixing and repurposing app is really cool. I like the way that you can spin off a blog and turn it into a little video and a little podcast or something like that. So definitely I would recommend testing these apps and continue to test them, because what you see today in the HubSpot features is going to be better tomorrow. That's the beautiful part of AI, that as AI continues to get better and HubSpot continues to implement AI features, the features get better too. So it's incredible how things are getting better and better and better. So Taylor said, how do you get to rich results test? Taylor, was Google Search Console, you were Gabriel shared. Oh yes, definitely. The rich text, yes. That's the test URL is that one that Daniel, my co-pilot here, apparently, he is not AI, he's a human being, a real human being. Yeah, he moves like a robot, but he's real. How about that? So we don't know what's real now. We don't know. Is he real though? Like, oh, there's another person there. He's definitely real. So hey, I can fake that too, you know? So any other questions, guys? You want to come off mute? More than happy to help. We still have 7 minutes if you want to go through any other questions. Let me go through the chat and see if I missed anything. I love that we did a little live test too. I always love when we have some time to do that, and I always appreciate a live test question too. Any other questions, guys? Anybody else that is not AI listening to this want to ask a question? You want to come off mute? More than happy to help. In the meantime, I'm going to share again my LinkedIn, my website, and our SEO audit link in case you want to check it out. Any questions, guys? You want to come off mute? Put it on the chat. I'm still here. David, what about for homepage? Can you just use ChatGPT to capture it and create a schema from it based on existing content? Yes, of course. ChatGPT is great for that. And not only you can use it to create the content and to perfect the content, but I love ChatGPT for testing the content. You just put the URL. You don't even have to copy paste the content. Put the URL and say, how's this page doing for this keyword? How's this page doing for AI discovery? How's this page doing for human readability? You know, is the schema correct in this page? And it'll say, yeah, this is there, but you could add this and this and that. So that's the beauty of ChatGPT and having a conversation with it, or even using the HubSpot AI tools or any other models for that matter. testing what you're doing is how you make it better and better. And then the results are, when you see it on the search or you see it in ChatGPT. But definitely, yes, you can definitely create the schema that's missing from a page if you put the URL. Anything else, guys? David, you want to come off mute so everybody knows you're an actual human? He's laughing. He's human. That's for sure. All right, everybody. If you don't have any other questions, I appreciate you coming here. I'll see you on the next events. We're going to do another one in December. We have December 10, which is the game plan for AI-driven growth in 2026. That's going to be a kind of like all-encompassing webinar on the 10th. And then we're going to continue this series doing 2 events a month. And it's all going to be about SEO to AEO, how to make this happen, all the tests that we're running, what we're learning, what is not working, what's working, questions from other webinars. We're going to try to make this work for everybody, run the tests, learn together, and teach you as much as possible what we're finding. But very exciting times. It went from, oh, this AI thing, what are we going to do, to, oh, this opportunity is huge. So let's do it. Let's make it happen. And it's happening. So again, thank you for connecting, guys. We'll stay in touch, and have a great week. Stay safe out there. Take care. Bye-bye.